Welcome to Applying the Bible. I'm Crystal Craven, and I write songs and devotionals that are rooted in God's Word to draw hearts into deeper intimacy with Jesus. And today, we're continuing our journey through the book of Joshua. We are in Joshua chapter 3, verses 2 through 4. And it says, "At the end of 3 days, the officers went through the camp and commanded the people, 'As soon as you see the ark of the covenant of the Lord your God being carried by the Levitical priests, then you shall set out from your place and follow it. Yet there shall be distance between you and it, about 2,000 cubits in length. Do not come near it, in order that you may know the way you shall go, for you have not passed this way before.'" The command to the people was to follow the Ark of the Covenant that was being carried by the priests, but there was a very specific caveat here. There would be distance. And the distance that God gave them was about 2,000 cubits, which is about half a mile or just under a kilometer. And this space was basically ensuring that they could actually see clearly where to go because they had never been that way before. Now, if you have ever driven in a caravan, you know that you do not want to be too close, or you're not going to have any time to change lanes or exit or turn. You need a close enough distance to see, but a far enough distance to navigate actually following safely. And considering this, that the people of Israel by this point, they were about 2 million people. So a half of a mile or a little under a kilometer was that safe distance for them. And when we think of this in our own life, in seasons of transition, we often try to rush ahead of God, especially if we think we see where he's leading us. But if he turns in a different direction than we're really anticipating, we may end up missing it, because if we didn't keep the space in place to actually see where he was leading us, we're going to get led astray. And God can, of course, correct us, right? He's faithful when we mess up. But wouldn't you rather just do what he says in the first place and follow him safely instead of trying to get so close and rush ahead that we end up just completely lost and have to be rescued? The thing is, obedience requires trust. And do we truly believe and trust that his plans and his ways and his thoughts are higher and better than our own? If we do, then the actionable proof of that trust in him is our obedience. And staying close, but not outpacing him, that keeps us aligned with his leading. So as you're going through this current season of life and the ones to come, this is such a good reminder. Don't outrun God. Just simply follow him. And to end out our time together, I have a song share for you called "Where Are You Going?" And this was actually written based off some collective writings of A.W. Tozer. And he was saying how oftentimes we're kind of stuck viewing things in the past and looking behind us, that he really was more concerned about where someone's going, not where they've been. And even with this, sometimes we want to rush ahead of God, but oftentimes too, we can get stuck looking behind us. And either way, it's not going to help us follow God very well, and we're going to end up stuck. So here's the song, "Where Are You Going?" Because that's the most important thing, is we are following God.
Why get stuck in the past of life, living in the shame and strife? Nothing can be changed or undone. Time goes on with the rising and setting sun, but where you're going is still yet to be. So let your past simply be history. It's not about where you've been if you've repented of your sin now. It's Christ you're living in. It's about where you're going. So where are you going? So where are you going? Do whatever he calls you to, for this life will soon be past. Only what's done for Christ will last. It's not about where you've been if you've repented of your sin now. It's Christ you're living in. It's about where you're going. It's not about where you've been if you've repented of your sin now. It's Christ you're living in. It's about where you're going. So where are you going? So where are you going? It's not about where you've been. It's whether you're walking free in Him. So where are you going?
For written devotionals and blogs and more originally written songs, you can visit my website at crystalcravenmusic.com. And that's Crystal with a K and Craven with a C. But you can also find this song, Where Are You Going? And all of my music wherever you stream music from.